integrated marketing communications presentation. My name is James, and together with my colleagues Io, Stefan and Carola, we will analyse the promotional activities of Apple with a focus on the iPhone 7. We will also be evaluating the consumer behaviour in response to those activities. I'll now hand over to my colleague.
Hi guys, my name is Io. I'm here to talk about the iPhone 7. Marketers have realized the importance of integrating marketing strategy rather than using separate tools. Therefore, marketers are trying to enhance the brand identity by moving consumers along a customer experience path made by different activities and tools. The concept of integrated marketing communication can simply be described as the integration of various tools from marketing mix to effectively communicate with an audience. One of the main advantages of IMC approach, the audience is exposed to image messages throughout different channels, therefore through a more efficient approach. Here we have the table of the marketing mix, which is the 4 pieces. We have the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. Therefore, let's have a look at the first P within the mix, the product. The iPhone 7 is an improvement of the iPhone 6. Putting in features, better battery life, better storage, and camera is to gain customers. But also taking the risk of removing the 3.5mm jack, which was in the previous iPhone, making it one of the first big smartphone companies on the market to then make that kind of move. The iPhone 7 brings with the several big design changes such as the full waterproofing and the single light input of the board charging and the earphones. Now I'm going to pass to my colleague Stefan, which is going to talk to you about the promotional activities of Apple.
Alright, thank you Io. As Io has shown us, promotion is the 4th P within the marketing mix. It consists of tools such as advertising, public relations, sponsorships, product placement, celebrity endorsement, point of purchase, and many others. Considering Apple's recent activity, we will briefly analyze those tools and see how they integrate and work together. With what some may call an obsession for detail, the brand focuses on design, colors, size, fonts, types, rather than overwhelming the audience with facts. Everything from semiotics, logo, and typography is smoothly combined into a homogeneous identity. According to a study made in 2014 by CAB, a best practice and insight company, the most effective way to reach customer isn't through elaborate and complex website or ads, but rather by simplifying the decision-making process. As I said, Apple does not overwhelm audiences with facts, but rather than that they focus on one feature at a time, such as the new improved camera or the waterproof feature. Another key element when it comes to Apple advertising is music. Tracks used in their commercials are the type of songs that the audience searches for right after the commercial. This is a subtle maneuver from Apple that indirectly refers to the Apple Music program that is linked with the new iPhone. Moreover, for example, in the following ad,
I live in a nameless town.
the music is In a Blackout by Hamilton, whose album was launched in the week the ad was released on, so no better timing. Like the colors, fonts, design, the message has also a very important role within Apple's strategy. The Practically Magic line has a double role. Firstly, it emphasizes the fact that the new features give a magical feel to the new product, while it highlights the practicality of the new iPhone. All video adverts were broadcasted both on television and the online medium on platforms such as YouTube and Spotify. When it comes to the print advertising, most of it regarding the new iPhone 7 was carried out by mobile services providers such as EE, O2, Vodafone and others, who advertise both the product and the services they offer along it. Another important tool within the promotions instruments is public relations. The public relations department within a company manages the publicity and all communications to all its stakeholders. Making sure a company's name appears in news stories, creating a positive buzz is one of the main objectives of public relations companies. In this regard, Apple doesn't hesitate to release a new press release regarding its new product launch. Interestingly, some phrases used by Apple in the new press release include phrases such as breakthrough camera or unique innovations, hoping for the publications to have a very positive review of the new product. When it comes to events, they are very efficient. Each year, Apple holds several events when they present their latest products. They usually are an hour and a half long, with the same concept, minimalist slideshow with the live demos of the new products and videos explaining the design and manufacturing process. Based on a survey out of 600 consumers, 52% said that in-store signage displays or point-of-purchase displays influence their decisions, being more effective than, for example, print advertising. Moreover, another survey found that 69% of shoppers consider that the in-time store is the make or break moment. In this regard, Apple stores are truly unique. They don't just offer customers a physical place to buy their products, but they offer an experience. Apple stores have a unique design that goes together with the simple, minimalist design of the Apple products. Organizational identification is described as the shared values, behavior, and goals of employees with the company. Therefore, a journey to the Apple Store reinforces Apple's image, making the purchase decision more likely to happen for clients. Product placement has always been big for Apple. For example, in 2014, according to a brand channel survey, Apple products appeared in 9 out of 45 movies that topped the US box office weekend, beating Sony and Coca-Cola by one movie. Apple cleverly placed their products in movies such as Captain America, the Lego Movie, Birdman, and other recent success movies. However, the iPhone 7 has yet failed to appear in any new TV series or movies. Nevertheless, Apple went big with celebrity endorsement. Since the arrival of the latest phone, the company launched a couple of ads, streaming both on TV and the online medium, including celebrities like James Corden, Pharrell, Taylor Swift, Drake. Think about this. How many of your friends own just one Apple product? I assume you said not many. Well, this is not a coincidence. Apple has a brilliant strategy when it comes to product positioning, giving the impression that each product has unique features one from another. Now, on a deeper analysis, think about this. Is an iPad very different from an iPhone 7 Plus? Is it really worth it to own an iMac and a MacBook? Well, I guess it's up to each individual. Enough about Apple. What about its competitors? Okay, so everyone knows about the battle of the decade, the Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier of the smartphone market, Apple versus Samsung. It has been debated and talked about for years now, getting quite boring at the end. However, we consider that Apple should be very careful considering a new competitor on the market, the Google Pixel phone.
I go work in the morning, don't get off in the night. I can't find no time to clear my mind.
By the huge success of the Google platform and with a big fund available for research, Google has been developing this phone for years now, trying to create the perfect competitor for the iPhone. To talk more about the product, I will invite Ayo to tell us more about the features.
Now I'm going to be talking about the Pixel Google phone that just came out. As you can see on the screen, the Pixel and the Pixel XL. Google has made a push against Apple's significant share of the smartphone market with their own launch of their sub-branded Pixel and Pixel XL, which is like the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. The first phone to be Google branded, the Pixel phone shows unpopular aspects of the iPhone, like features like unlimited storage that the iPhone doesn't have, and the new voice-activated Google Assistant. The technology giant described the Android wearing the Pixel phone, a successor of Nexus, as the first phone made by Google inside and out. Google put a lot of details towards the Pixel phone, from carefully scripted the surface of the phone and the rounded edges that make it easier to grip. The Pixel camera is not only the best smartphone camera ever made, it's the highest rated smartphone camera anyone ever made, which is clearly proves the iPhone supremacy in doubt. When it comes to packaging, Google has made a very beautiful packaging design, which is clearly defined by the same minimalist principle like in the case of an iPhone. The outside of the packaging for the Pixel comes with a clean white box and a brand logo on the front, like those two pictures I'm showing you right now.
Okay, so we get this. Pixel is not just a big buzzer or nothing. It is a great phone with amazing specifications that does not just compete with the iPhone 7, but arguably beats it on some areas. Nevertheless, we're not here to discuss on how good the product is, but instead on how good their integrated marketing strategy is. Right. First of all, we need to establish from the start that clearly Google needs to have a different marketing approach due to the fact that the product is new. Considering the ADA model, Google's prime focus would be the first A, meaning they have to create awareness. No wonder they had a huge budget for advertising of £50 million only in the UK. No surprise that last year in the autumn London was full of Pixel adverts. This should not come as a surprise considering the big budget Google allocated for this. One may ask, isn't this too much? Well, many marketers take into consideration Jay Jones' mere exposure effect theory, also known as the familiarity principle. It suggests that people are more likely to respond positively if they are exposed to an object repeatedly. Okay, so those are the major promotional tools Google used to promote their new product. Further on, James will start talking about the customer.
Customer journey. My name's James,
And I'm Carol.
and we're going to be taking on a customer journey of Apple as a brand, the key focus on the iPhone 7.
As we all know, the importance of a customer journey is crucial for the success of any business.
So, what is a customer journey? Customer journey is a way of detailing how a consumer becomes aware of your brand and the interactions they have as a result. It's often expressed as a map. It summarises the experience a consumer will go through whilst interacting with your brand.
The customer journey is usually split into 4 main sections.
Actions, what customers are doing, and what parts of the customer journey.
Motivations, what will encourage consumers to move to the next step, or in contrast, discourage them from moving on.
Question, what kind of questions are your consumers likely to have? Within our customer journey map, you can see the stages in the form of customer touchpoints. Touchpoints are any periods where a customer comes into contact with your brand. These touchpoints are split into 8 main categories: awareness, queries and POS, pricing, purchases, post-sale support, complaints, upgrades and renewal. A number of examples of Apple's touchpoints are its minimalistic website being both clean and easy to navigate, aiding customer experience, acting as a central hub to learn about new offerings, set up appointments, locate stores and make online purchases. Accessibility and easeability of product testing, allowing consumers to just walk in and try products with no obligation or pressure to buy, something that is rare within the phone industry and something which is not easily so offered by that of a Pixel phone, giving consumers a positive and enjoyable POS experience, taking away from the stress from a purchase. Clean minimalistic designs of stores to imitate Apple's products and ethos, with all stores keeping continuity with very similar look to help build a brand and to allow consumers to associate stores with their products offering. Store locations are easy to find, with only high footfall areas in high density cities across the UK. This helps Apple maintain a national presence as well as help with removing as many of the barriers which stand between a potential customer and a purchase. Genius Bar gives customers a point of call. If heaven forbid one of their treasured products ever becomes unwell, they have a real human as a point of contact, which is a rare assurance within today's electronic industry. This helps Apple by conveniently giving consumers peace of mind that they can get their broken products fixed with minimal downtime. This helps compensate for Apple's products costing slightly higher than rivals. With experts in store who you can rely on to help find the root of a problem, and if they can't, they'll get someone else who can. They offer training for those unfamiliar with Apple, to help with the transition and for older generations, as well as those struggling with new updates. These are done in store, either one-to-one or in small groups. They're normally done with Apple Genius, who usually has very high levels of patience. Checkouts are personal and efficient, done again one-to-one, helping with a personal touch. With an Apple employee who has a handheld device, you can handle card transactions with ease, making the journey effortless and streamlined. Customer service. Once registering for an appointment, you'll get SMS updates to your phone, telling you they're running late or early. This prevents you from sitting around waiting needlessly. Employees, large numbers of employees, so it means you never left waiting too long for help, meaning customers are not neglected, making them feel more valued. With staff that are well rehearsed in problem solving as well as day-to-day consumer needs, not salesmen. Target market. So, who are Apple consumers? To understand our consumers, we must first look at different demographic segmentations. And for this, I'll be handing over to Carola.
Apple went from being mainly a functional brand satisfying immediate and practical needs to being a symbolic and having an emotional impact on individuals' life, with the sense of style innovations to arousing excitement and curiosity, giving freedom to consumers. Apple has managed to conquer the world with its target market including teenagers, college or university students to business people, young children and adults. Teens are considered the primary target market due to the fact that they start with the purchase of an iPod, which predicts their future preferences for other devices as they grow older. As we all know, millennials are also the most technology-dependent generation so far, so it's no wonder that after teenagers, wealthy millennials are the following target market. So what are Apple consumers about? To understand our consumers, we must first look at different demographic segmentations. Demographic segmentations are the most highly used form of marketing segmentations. Apple generally target a specific demographic with each advertiser, narrowing down the target market and appealing to a specific group of consumers at a time. A typical Apple consumer would have these key demographical as well as a geostatistical behavioral traits. So here we have different types of segmentations for different types of products. We have geographic region, US and international with high density in urban areas. Demographic, age 20 to 45. With 1 in 4 people in the 18 to 34 age demographic express strong interest in purchasing an Apple product at some point in the next 6 months. Gender, both males and females. Life cycle stage, bachelor, new married couple, full nest too. Income, high earners, occupations, professionals, managers and executives. This makes Apple to be perceived as a trendy as well as a fashionable by many consumers. This helps change the mind of many consumers away from a more rational way of thinking, so that of a more emotional, extending the uses more than just practical applications. This is crucial for Apple's success and its ability to outdo competitors with what some would argue as in superior products and much higher inflated costs than rivals.
Emotional involvement. Apple has been accredited for neurologically captivating their audience by many, including that of R. Lewis. Note is highly important as well as valued within the consumer emotional involvement spectrum. In simple terms, consumers who feel emotionally attached to a brand are more likely to stay loyal for longer. This is considered a key aspect for saving Apple from going under in the 1990s with their amazing emotional-oriented brand rejuvenation, which has propelled Apple to one of the 21st century's most influential super brands. A key aspect to achieve this high emotional state is the ability to have strong, consistent communications centered on customer emotional needs, encouraging customers to reach a highly bonded state of I will only buy this brand and only this brand. Emotional state of the target market. A number of key emotional traits for Apple's consumers are highly brand loyal. More than 70% of people who have purchased Apple products in the last 5 years believe that Apple's products they have brought are less superior than the alternatives on the market. This shows strong brand loyalty in consumers to stick with Apple even with the offer of stronger perceived products on the market. 54% of consumers who purchase an Apple iPhone say that their last phone was also an iPhone. Highly influenced peers. With statistics showing 1 in 4 who have purchased Apple products have done so because others in their friendship group owning Apple products. This shows how fashionable and trendy Apple actually is. This is a key trait which helps to build brand loyalty.
FCB stands for Food Con Building Model, and it divides products and services into 4 main categories along 2 axes. Classifications categories are think, feel along one side and high and low involvement on the other. The model contrasts product involvement high to low and product emotions thinking, feeling against one another. In reference to Apple, usually the consumer journey should be think, feel, do. This specifically for involvement purchase. Therefore, the customer needs to analyze the future's benefits, costs. This type of judgment usually applies to products such as houses, cars, appliances. However, considering Apple's marketing strategy and the emotional response they are trying to evolve in consumers, we believe that the feel, think, do judgment also applies to the iPhone. When looking at Maslow hierarchy of needs, Apple is working down the Maslow from self-actualization to the psychological stage. First of all, the iPhone gives you a sense of love and belonging when people contact you, of self-esteem with feelings of rising abilities when more and more people contact you, to finally self-actualization, making us feel creative, putting the idea in our head that the more and more people that contact us, the better we will become as individuals.
ADA. When thinking about Apple's customers and Apple's strategy, the ADA model can be a beneficial tool. ADA is an acronym which stands for awareness, interest, desire and action. The model is used to identify cognitive stages of an individual's behaviour during the buying process. Considering the ADA model, while managing to show progression and changing consumer behaviour dynamics, experiences and memories, it is clear that the brand does not need to focus on awareness given its high success rates within the global market, but rather on desire and action, with Apple being known to have a brilliant desire strategy, convincing consumers not only that they want the product, but they absolutely need the product. This is integrated within the product positioning strategy mentioned by Stefan earlier on in the presentation. This helps create a fully integrated marketing approach. Google, in contrast, needs to focus on creating awareness for this newly launched product, but equally important, generating interest in what some may say is a highly saturated market. Customer response graph. The model helps to show entry, exit and extension phases within Apple, showing at what point a consumer is on in the overall journey. Apple is constantly engaging consumers with a new product, whilst ever increasing their service range in the form of things such as online cloud storage, video streaming, music streaming and collaborations like that of Dr. Dre. These act as extensions and new touch points for consumers, helping keeping them interested and motivated about the brand. Critical discussions and evaluations. Considering meeting the audience's needs and wants compared to its competitors, Apple is shown to have an inferior product in comparison to rivals. Additionally, both Samsung and Google seem to be more receptive to the voice of their audiences. This is a Mintel graph from 2015. It shows what smartphones consumers would want and improved in future phones. So for instance, we have large battery life, the most significant, better camera resolution, wireless charging and improved ruggedness as main points. In this regard, Google seems to be more careful considering Pixel's unique battery and camera features that I previously presented earlier in the presentation. Yet Apple is still accredited as the second largest smartphone manufacturer within the world. This is a true testament to Apple being able to actively compete purely based on their marketing, as well as PR communications. Apple's emotional connection to its consumers is unlike no other tech firm, with hardcore near cult-like followers in captivating their audience into a near Bond-like stake, as mentioned earlier by change as part of the consumer journey. Apple is seen as a relatively trustworthy brand, highly competitors such as the HTC, as well as Microsoft, and is seen as the most highly differentiated than any other brand for the industry, including Sony as well as Samsung. This again could likely be accredited to that of Apple's emotional involvement on a psychometric scale with its consumers. Interbrand, a world-renowned brand agency, analysed the techniques a brand needs to survive through time. Christine Seck, Interbrand's Senior Director of Strategy, found that Apple, like Coca-Cola, are still so successful due to their well-established core values, beliefs and assets they kept through time. From the beginning they conveyed distinctive visual and verbal elements that at first created awareness and throughout time separated them from key competitors. Recommendations. In conclusion, we have collectively produced 2 recommendations based on an integrated consumer marketing insight via the reference to new and old communication tools. Apple needs to improve its responsiveness to its competitors, with Google making a large push within the UK for its new Pixel phone, spending $50 million on advertising alone within the UK. Consider that within the first week the phone went on sale in the UK, their market share went to 0.16% for the Pixel and 0.20% for the Pixel XL, which may not sound a lot, but consider this is just for the first week of sales only. This increased pressure for Apple to respond, with 2 super brands fighting for a share of a rapidly shrinking market. Apple should also take note of their consumers' opinions, further advancing two-way communications, allowing for consumers' needs to be heard, and for Apple to remain responsive as well as industry leader within product innovation. Apple itself only spends 10% of profits on R&D. This is below industry average, with Microsoft spending 17% of profits and Google spending 21% of profits, according to a Bloomberg report published in 2016. This could be one of the mounting factors that has contributed to Apple being perceived as no longer being a product innovator.
I'd like to thank you for your attention and time on behalf of my colleagues and invite any questions or queries through email.